State next. If it's on here. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good to see you. If you've got a question for Hubert, go ahead and use the raise hand tool. James
We got
Henderson.
one. Hubert just left. But if you want to talk again to him, I can jump off now.
Did I say here? I'm sorry. I've done that twice today. I'm sorry, man.
That's okay.
Struggling.
Hey, you wasn't used to Hubert being on this morning. That's what happened.
Right? Yeah. We got him on right on time. So, yeah. For Kevin, go ahead. James, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, hope you're doing well today. I wanted to ask you about your ball pressure. I know a lot of folks look at turnovers and all those things, and I know you mentioned it as a point as well, but it felt like against Georgia Tech, you really pushed the tempo and picked up the pace against them and maybe kind of had them uncomfortable. I don't know what their style is, but just is that something you focus on, just not is also pushing the pace?
Yeah, you talking about James on the defensive end or
Yeah,
offensive?
on the defensive end with your defensive ball pressure.
Yeah, you know what? Because we had that little our lineup that we started was smaller, and they had so much size. We felt like that we needed to pressure the ball and try to make a difference a little bit. Dongo was such a matchup for us because we're trying to, he's a guy who can score in that when you dump the ball off to him, and we wanted to try to, win the battle before they got in the half court and pressure the ball and make it tough on wing catches, and that was one of the reasons that we ramped it up a little bit. When you insert another guard, it gives you another guy who can pressure the ball and be able to deny the basketball and get into our presses.
Next question is Noah Fleischman. Go ahead.
Good morning, Coach. KC has shot more free throws this year than he has in any other year of his career. What do you think has led to kind of the uptick in getting to the line for him?
Noah, I think one of his deals is, it's a blessing a little bit. He wasn't making shots a few games ago, and because the shot wasn't going in, we said, hey, let's figure out how to score other ways, and whether it's getting an offensive rebound, and he started taking the ball to the rim and getting to the free throw line, and I think he's found some type of positive out of the way because he didn't shoot the ball early a few games ago or well. And it's kind of helped our team because he's been very efficient when he can get into the paint and get to the free throw line. But he's probably been our best paint touch guy over the last 2 weeks.
And then has that become an emphasis throughout the whole team of just driving the ball a little bit more, getting to the rim rather than trying to rely on threes falling?
Yeah, it was. I thought if you look back at the Georgia Tech game, I thought in that first half we really settled for a bunch of outside shots. And, at halftime we talked about, driving the basketball and getting somebody else an opportunity, driving kicks. And once we did that, we saw a different game, and it turned around for us offensively.
Corey Smith, go ahead, sir.
Hey, Kevin. We've talked a lot about Casey and Michael O'Connell and DJ Horn over the last week and their emergence, but look at a guy like Jayden Taylor, what he's been able to do offensively. How important has that been in these last 2 games and for his confidence overall as well?
Yeah, Corey, I'm super proud of him because we've asked him to, be the defensive stopper on the basketball on the team. And, he's had some moments where, probably a little frustrated for him offensively because his shot wasn't going. And to your point, I don't think he's got a lot of recognition for, the last couple of games where we really played well, but he's played well. He's moved the ball. He's drove the ball. He's done a good job of getting out in the passing lane. And, over this 2-game stretch, I thought he's been as important as anybody with his play, especially on both ends of the floor. And, just to see the ball go in for him. And, we've been working on him, Corey, becoming a more efficient passer. And I think his best pass of the year was when he was laying down on his butt. So maybe we need a play where he falls down and make a great play again like that.
Thanks, Kevin.
Got a David Teal.
Kevin, in your first game against Virginia this season, you guys shot better than 60% inside the arc. And then the second game, not so much. Was that more you, or has Virginia's defense gotten that much better, especially on the interior with Jordan Minor?
Yeah, I think in that game, that particular game, David, it was a combination of both. I would say to you, as most teams are, Virginia's defense has always been good, but they're really good at home. Really, really good at home. But they've grown as a team. They've gotten better. And so they've been able to, defense typically travels with you. So it's happened for them on the road. As far as we go, I thought in the first game we really moved the ball a lot. I thought in the second game it got stuck a little bit. And it's the wrong team to have the ball stick because they're really good at defending you late in the shot clock. But I think it's a combination of both. I think they've gotten better. I think they're really elite at home defensively, but they've taken some major steps on the as far as on the road defending.
Go back to James Henderson.
Yeah, Kevin, can you give us a quick scouting report of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it seems like, man, everybody we play is shooting the basketball. Maybe it's because everybody really is, but they're elite when they're making threes. They're really good, and Henson's playing on another level because his ability to play inside out. He can post you, he can drive you a little bit, but he kind of makes them go when he makes as many tough threes as I've seen of anybody in our league. They're a team that right around 9 to 10 threes made per game, which really make them tough. They got great size. It's those two guards who we're calling freshmen, but because now we're in February, I'm calling them as sophomores. They've been really good, very aggressive, and driving the basketball. But I think he's done a good job. This team can defend you. They can sit down and guard you. They really rebound the basketball, and they're kind of playing really good basketball together.
Thanks, Kevin.
Go back to Noah Fleischman.
This time last week, you called the losing streak kind of like a learning experience for the team. Over these last 2 games, have you kind of seen that, pay off, after going through that adversity?
Yeah, what we try to do, Noah, is try to stay in the moment. You always, as coaches, you try to look at, what happened. Well, here's what happened. We didn't play particularly well at Syracuse, and you play Virginia where you don't play well in the first half, but it goes to overtime. The game can kind of go either way. But we just locked in and stayed the course, and it was good for us to get back home. We travel so much, and some home cooking and sleeping in your own bed, and we just got back to defending. That was one of the things I didn't think during that stretch that we really defended the ball like we needed to, or we defended like we needed to. And that was a constant thing with us, is being able to defend. And, we played a good Miami team, and defensively, we held them to a low percentage from three, which is probably the lowest on the entire year. And that's because our guys are locked in on the defensive end.
All right, Kevin, last question will come from JC Zemble. Go ahead, JC.
Sometimes I think when you guys go with the small ball lineup, you really want the other team to adjust to what you guys are doing. Have you always taken the approach that they need to adjust to you, or are there times where, a Blake Hinson type or Andrew Carr this week where like, okay, I might have to make some adjustments ourselves?
No, I kind of disagree with you. It's kind of, hey, we were in those 2 games, we were going to start that lineup no matter what, the other 2 teams did. And, we try to, I wanted, after we had dropped a few games, we wanted something different. Of course, when you look at scouting, you're going to look and see, hey, who's the other team, what they have. But what we've done, JC, is try to figure out, who can give us the most on both ends of the floor. And the practices kind of determine which way we go. And, with Casey Morcell playing at small guard 4, it helped us the last couple of games, but that could completely change. I mean, Blake's a tough matchup, and it's a really good team, and Jeff's team's got a lot of size, and so it could be different. But we kind of haven't adjusted. It's kind of, I went with who has been playing well for us and what could give us the best opportunity to win.
Okay, Kevin, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see you next
Thanks,
week.
guys.